Good morning, students. Welcome to my class. Today we are going to start with another activity. But at the beginning, we are going to remember the topic of the last class. The last class we reviewed about the past and present passive voice. Do you remember? Okay, so can you tell me an example using present passive voice? Okay, that's right. The cat is fed by my mother. Okay, and can you change this sentence into past passive voice? Okay, the cat was fed by my mother. Okay, so pay attention on the change. As I said before, today we are going to review another activity. Okay, today we are going to practice the use of the past and present passive voice. So the topic for today is present and past passive voice practice. And what is the objective? To practice the use of past and present passive voice in some examples. Okay, so tell me, do you know when do you use passive voice? Do you know the structure of the past passive voice? Okay, so today we are going to review and we are going to reinforce that in order to understand better, okay? So pay attention. Okay, you are going to open your books in the page number 59, okay? Vamos a abrir en la página 59, okay? Okay, here we have some exercise related to the present and passive voice. Okay, so we are going to start to do in order to practice the use and in order to understand better. Okay, it says read examples from the article, underline the passive form of the verbs. Okay, what classic toys was created more than 40 years ago? It is sold around the world. The first prototype was created by Ero Bgu. The only place it hasn't been solved is space. Okay, so here what do you have to do? You are going to underline the passive form of the verbs. Vamos a subrayar la forma pasiva de los verbos. Okay, so please do it. Okay, for example, here, tell me, what is the passive form of the verb? Okay, was created. The second. Okay, it's sold. Here, was created. That's right. Here, okay, hasn't been solved. Okay, as you notice, that is the present and the past passive voice of the verbs. Okay, it says work in pairs, answer the questions. Okay, we are going to work together. Vamos a trabajar juntos, ¿no es cierto? ¿Qué nos dice? How do we form the present passive? ¿Cómo se forma la voz pasiva en presente? Tell me. Okay, we are going to use the subject, the verb to be in present, el verbo to be en presente, am, is, and, or are. The verb in past participle, okay, and the agent, okay. And how do we form the past passive? Okay, we are going to use the subject, okay, then the verb to be in past form, okay, el verbo to be en pasado, was and were. Okay, the past participle form of the verb and also the agent, okay? What words introduce the person or thing that performs the action in the passive voice? Do you remember the agent? Okay, the word by, okay? La palabra by es la palabra que introduce a la persona o la cosa que hizo la acción. And the last one, how do we form questions and negative in passive? ¿Cómo formamos las preguntas y las oraciones negativas en voz pasiva? Okay, we are going to use the verb to be. Vamos a utilizar el verbo to be al inicio. Okay, then the subject. Okay, then what do you have to use? The verb in the past participle form and the complement or the adjective. Okay, that is the rule of the questions. And the negative statements. Okay, the subject, the verb to be, the negative form. Okay, we are going to use not, and the verb in the past participle form. Okay, recordamos que solo les mencionaba el verbo to be porque dependiendo si es presente voy a utilizar am, is o are. Si es pasado, was and were. Okay. Okay, work in pairs. In this case, you are going to work in individual way. Find and underline all the passive sentence in the article. Okay, ¿qué vamos a hacer? ¿Recuerdan la página anterior, la página 58? Ok, en esta página que tenemos aquí, usted va a identificar y va a subrayar todos los verbos que están en voz pasiva. Ok, las oraciones que están en voz pasiva, usted las va a leer otra vez el artículo y las va a identificar. Ok, for example, aquí tenemos la primera. What classic toy was created more than 40 years ago? Por lo tanto, eso vamos a subrayar. La segunda. Everyone knows this boldly that is sold. Ok, aquí también tenemos una voz pasiva, por lo tanto voy a subrayar esa oración. Ok, and you are going to complete the reading underlining the past sentence in the article. Ok, y usted va a continuar el artículo subrayando las oraciones que están en voz pasiva, ya sea presente o pasado. That is your work. The number 4. Complete the information with the phrases in the box. Okay. Here we have a little article. Aquí tenemos un pequeño artículo y aquí tenemos en este cuadrito unas palabras. We have to complete with the past passive voice and with the present passive voice. Tenemos que completarlo utilizando la voz pasiva, ya sea en presente o en pasado, according to the context of the article, ¿no es cierto? De acuerdo al contexto del artículo. Okay, we are going to start. ¿Qué nos dice aquí? The Flying Disc by Walter Morrison, if 1948. What word we have to use? Okay, here we have the flying disc was invented, okay, by Walter Morrison in 1948. At first, it, the flying saucer and it. What can use here? ¿Qué podemos utilizar aquí? Okay, at first, it was called the flying saucer and it on the beach in California. Okay, it was sold on beaches in California. Then, in 1957, the idea by WAF and the disc. What could be aquí? ¿Qué podemos utilizar aquí? ¿Qué palabra? Okay, the idea was both by Waham O and the disc was redesigned a new name, Frisbee. The disc. Okay, so pay attention on the words that we had already used. Presta atención a las que ya utilizamos, ¿no es cierto? Y vamos aquí. A ver, by the idea was both by Waham O and the disc was given a new name, Frisbee. The disc, okay, was redesigned so it was an easier to throw accurately. Millions of frisbees were sold, okay, and frisbee became a new sport. Nowadays there are many varieties of frisbees, including a night frisbee that is made of fluorescent plastic. There are even special frisbees for ducks. Okay, so that is an article related to the history of the frisbee. Okay, esta es una historia relacionada a la historia del frisbee. Here we have another exercise. Okay, aquí tenemos otro ejercicio. ¿Qué tenemos que hacer aquí? It says, complete the text with the correct form of the verb in parentheses. Okay, skateboarding in California in 1915, the first skateboards used by surfers. They make of wooden boxes with the wheels on the bottom. At that time, skateboarding called sidewalk surfing. It became widely popular when the new plastic wheels developed in 1970s, and the sports adapted by a new generation of teenagers who skate faster and perform more tricks. Nowadays, many skateboards decorate with beautiful art and shows the personality of their owners. Okay, so that is the story about the skateboarding. Como podemos darnos cuenta, esta es la historia del skateboarding. Okay, as you notice here, we have to use the passive voice. Okay, tenemos que utilizar la voz pasiva. Here in the parentheses you have the verb. Okay, aquí tenemos el paréntesis, ¿no es cierto? Por lo tanto, lo único que tenemos que hacer es transformar el verbo del paréntesis en voz pasiva. Okay, that activity you are going to do in an individual way. Okay, esta actividad lo va a hacer usted solito. Algo que les puedo ayudar. Como les había mencionado, esto es una historia, por lo tanto, en la mayoría de casos vamos a utilizar past passive voice. Ok, solo una pista, solo hay un espacio en el cual yo voy a utilizar present passive voice, but you have to understand the context. Solo hay un espacio en el cual voy a utilizar la voz pasiva en presente. Por lo tanto, pay attention to the context, preste atención al contexto. Ok, para identificar cuál es el presente. El resto, you are going to use past passive voice. That's right. That is the first part of the class. What is the second part? We are going to copy the questions of the questionnaire. Okay, as you know, we have to complete the questions. Como usted ya sabe, tenemos que completar las preguntas, and you have to copy in your notebooks. Usted tiene que copiarlas en su cuaderno. We are going to review. Choose the correct option about past passive voice. The books read by the teacher. Okay, so here you have to pay attention to the structure. Aquí lo único que tenemos que hacer es prestar atención a la estructura. Si me dice que es past passive voice, yo sé que voy a utilizar el verbo to be en pasado, ¿no es cierto? Por lo tanto, the books were, because that is plural, the books were writing. Okay, writing is the past participle form of the verb write. Okay, por lo tanto voy a escoger la primera opción, es la única opción que puedo escoger. So pay attention to the spelling of the verb also. También tiene que poner atención a la escritura del verbo, ¿no es cierto? Identificar cuál es la forma correcta. Choose the correct option about past passive voice. That is the same. The child helped by the policeman. Okay, so here we are going to use the verb to be in past. The child was, the verb in the past participle form, helped by the policeman. Okay, so here you have to use the first. The child was helped by the policeman. That's right. Okay, and we are going to finish the questionnaire with the readings. Vamos a terminar el cuestionario con las lecturas. Pay attention. Choose the correct option. It is not okay for readers of the post to. Okay, we have to complete. Ok, primero vamos a leer, ¿no es cierto? ¿Qué es esto? Reading text, a class forum. That is the topic of the reading. Ok, it says, add your comment below. So cool to read about everyone's home tradition they miss the most. I'm from England, but I have been living in the States for 5 years. And the thing I miss the most is bonfire night on November 5th. The best thing about bonfire night is the fireworks. Oh, and the bonfires and the story behind it. Basically, guys, Fakis and his friends tried to blow up the houses on Parliament and kill King James first. They nearly did it too. They hid a room under the Houses of Parliament and filled it with explosives. But someone told the royal palace. The authorities found Guy Fawkes in the room guarding the explosives, and he was sentenced to torture and death. So it is a tradition that celebrates the fact that the king survived. It also means people don't forget what happens if you plot against your country. There's a kind of poem about it that starts, remember the 5th of November gunpowder, treason and plot. That is why we built a life-size model of Guy Fawkes, and burn it on the bonfire. Pretty dark and horrible when you think about it. Tips. It is nice to start by saying something that shows you have read other people's posts. In a class forum, you can be quiet and informal. In informal writing, you can sometimes miss out the beginning of a phrase. So it's cool to read about everyone's home tradition. Remember, in a forum, you are a part of a long conversation with a lot of people, so they might ask your questions. Okay, so here you have the options. Be rude to the writer, ask questions about bonfire night, ask questions about July 4th. Okay, so it is not okay for readers of the post to be rude to the writer. Okay, so you have to pay attention to the reading. Okay, usted tiene que poner mucha atención a la lectura in order to discover the best option. The second, what is the purpose of the first sentence in the post? Okay, here you have the first sentence. What is the purpose? To show the writer has read other posts, to say what the post is going to be about, for the writer to introduce themselves. What is the purpose? That's right, to show the writer has read other posts. Okay, so you have to pay attention to the meaning, to the context, to the message, okay, of the paragraph. Okay, which thing does not show the writer is informal? The writer gives some information about the story. The writer talks directly to the reader using you. The writer sometimes use sentences that are not complete. So tell me. Okay, the writer gives some information about the history. Okay, that is the questions about which things does not shows the writing is informal. Okay, in this case, that is the second part of the reading. That is another kind of questions. Choose true or false according to the reading. Bonfire night is celebrated in autumn in the UK. That is true or that is false? Tell me. Okay, that is true because it says that the bonfire is in November. In November we have the season of autumn. So for this reason that is true. Okay. So you have to pay attention, you have to analyze, tenemos que analizar, ¿no es cierto? Okay, that is the second reading. Esta es la segunda lectura. Choose true or false according to the reading. Okay, we are going to read. Okay, esta es una lectura más chiquitita. The International Center and the Grand West. Okay, as you notice here we have two centers and they first ask different kind of activities. Okay, so we are going to read in order to understand better. Como usted se puede dar cuenta, aquí tenemos dos centros y cada centro nos va a especificar sus actividades o su información. Nosotros tenemos que escoger de acuerdo a la pregunta. It says the International Center. Whether you are looking for a conference venue or a place to have your meetings and your training days, the International Center is perfect modern space for your event. Offering free Wi-Fi, secure parking, all-day refreshment, the International Center has 120 meeting rooms and a theater for up to 1,000 people. Conveniently local in the city center, the International Center is close to the shops and only a 10-minute walk to the train station. Okay, that is the advantage of this International Center. We are going to read the second. The Grand West. The Grand West is a country house surrounded by rolling hills and beautiful scenery. Only a 30-minute drive from the airport. Quite 76 hotel rooms, 12 mirror rooms, and a conference room that takes up to 200 people. The Grand West offers free Wi-Fi and a whiteboard in every room. You can also make use of the gardens of the Grand West for team building events and outdoor activities. Outdoor swimming pool, gym, and 18-hole golf course will ensure that your event is relaxing and enjoyable for everyone. Okay, as you notice here, there are two places that you have to choose in order to choose your best event. Okay, ¿qué nos dice la pregunta? If you need a large conference venue for about 600 people, you should book the International Center. True or false? Okay, that is true. According to the capacity of the rooms, de acuerdo a la capacidad de los cursos, ¿no es cierto? De las clases. Si quiero hacer un evento de esta magnitud, so we are going to choose the International Center. So that is true. Okay, ¿qué nos dice aquí? If you want to go shopping after your meetings, you should book the Grand West. That is true or false? Okay, that is false according to the information, okay? Because if you want to go shopping, you have to choose the International Center. Okay. Choose true or false according to the reading. The writer is American. That is true or that is false? Okay, that is false, okay, because they speak about I am from England, okay, so that is false. So, okay, that is the last one, okay. You can have fun playing golf if you go to an event at the Grand West. That is true or that is false? Okay, that is true, okay. Here you have the information related to the golf, okay. So thank you, students. That is all for today. Remember, what is your homework? You have to complete the activity number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 of the page number 59. Tenemos que completar la actividad 1, 2, 3, 4 y 5 de la página 59. Esto es relacionado a la gramática. Y la segunda parte, you have to copy the questions in your notebooks, ok. Tenemos que copiar las preguntas del cuestionario en nuestro cuaderno. So, thank you, students. That is all for today. Have a nice day. Goodbye.